Yes, we go to Tokyo again. This is the last of this Tokyo series. And we're going to meet my friend Jim. Jim and I know for decades, but honestly, on this podcast, I learned so much about him that I didn't know before. He starts a bit slow and then catches up throughout the podcast. Stay tuned and listen to his views on everything humanity, values, and AI. So let's go to Tokyo and meet Jim. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Meet the Podcast. This is episode 9, I think. Anyway, we have here Jim, and by now, I think people may recognize that this is Tokyo because it's the same room we used for the previous two podcasts, even though it doesn't look like Shinjuku. And we have the great sound of Yamanote Line trains in the background, in case you can hear it, which is a good sign. It means the city is working, is real. Everything is as normal, and we are in good shape. So Jim is my good friend from 25 years. 5 years, and he's now in Tokyo. So am I. So that was a very good chance. Thank you, Jim, for coming to the podcast.
Thank you for
very
inviting.
welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
The first one ever for me. So
yeah, it's always. Also, this is my first podcast. My first podcast as a producer. Anyway,
okay,
welcome, and hopefully people will recognize how great human being Jim is. And that's why you're here today. So I would like you to explain to audience, not very brief. I said a brief of who you are, but not so brief.
Okay.
Just take your time. Give us an idea of your origins. Who are you from your childhood a little bit, understanding your progress in life, also personal, professional. Just give us your brief, Jim.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Lewis. Yeah, so I'm Jim. So you might be able to tell from my accent that from the north of England. So yeah, so grew up in the north of England. I don't know whether you call it conventional childhood or not, but yeah, family around, brothers, sisters, cousins, lots of people around, lots of things going on. Quite enjoyed school. Quite enjoyed the different sports and things like that. I was interested in different stuff. Part of the family was working in sort of building or construction, so that was always something from being little. Involved in making things and doing things with them. So ended up being interested in engineering and things like that. So that's the route I took to go and learn, study for mechanical engineering. So gone through this part, and then the other aspect of things is I'm always quite interested in the sea. So travel, the different things, the different aspects, and then studying through university. Then there was an opportunity to go and work with a company that covers overseas, shipping work, things like this. So that's the route I went down. But as part of doing that, when I went off to university, I think I hadn't seen the need before university, I hadn't seen the need for studying different languages so much. I wasn't that particularly interested. But then at university, other people I was friends with were doing the Erasmus scheme. So some were going off to France, some were going to Germany, some were going to Spain, different places. And I thought, that looks really interesting, but I've never done that before. And they said, okay, there's another option. You can go to Japan. So it's like, without language beforehand, don't worry, we will teach you. Okay. so with this bit, then I thought, okay, for engineering, like in the 90s, Japan was top of the top. So okay, opportunity to go to a very different place, different culture, and learn the language, and it's one of the best places in the world for engineering. Okay, sounds good. So started doing that, learning at night school. Came out to Japan for university for a year. Really enjoyed it and things. went back, finished up at university, and joined a company then connected with shipping that can then let me travel the world in different places. So that's probably sort of the start of my travel, I'd say. So as a youngster growing up in the UK, yeah, just standard sort of UK growing up experience, I guess. And then after sort of middle from university, then just ended up spending more than half my life outside the UK. Then after university, the next 28 years or something was primarily outside the UK. So yeah, all over the place, different places. So I mean, we met up out in Korea, places then Vietnam, China, Singapore, back to Japan again. Yeah, so all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me, and now I'm back here in Japan again.
And now back in Japan, and with family.
Yes. Yep.
Because also Jim is a father of family.
Yes. I have yeah, little kids that keep me busy. That's, yeah.
Yes. And the Japanese wife, we can say.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can, speaking both languages at home. It's nice. It's good.
Oh, how's your Japanese?
Not as good as it was when I was here before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's some of the. It's okay, but when I was here before, I was properly immersed in it. So inside the shipyard, inside life was just full Japanese.
Oh.
But now I think things are different. So there's different connections with parts of the company outside Japan, stronger. So yeah, and then at home as well, there's a mixture of English and things as well being spoken. So yeah, I can feel that my language skills are not as good as they were. So I've got to find a way to build them back up again.
Oh, I'm sure that's not a problem at all.
Well, it's I think the trying to find the right opportunities, the right way to do it. So how do you? Before, I think, being fully immersed in the language and culture of the things going on, you almost learn naturally without trying to do that additional effort on top of things. I mean, obviously you learn the Chinese characters, things like this, that takes time and effort. But the other aspects, you would learn to organically. Now, I don't think that's the case. I've got to actually push myself to actually learn particular things.
Oh, because of your kind of interaction with people, right?
I think the balance of interaction,
the
balance of language and the way things are done. So yeah, it's different. So it doesn't happen as easily. I've got to actually invest in learning it again. So I've started doing that. That's okay.
Oh, good.
Yes.
So through your career, through your life, you've been exposed to a great deal of very different type of people.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, it's been pretty lucky in some ways, but the company I'm working with, there's a lot of good people inside it. You know, people tend to, be positive and do things in a certain way, so that's good. But yeah, in different countries, everyone's got a different style, different things. So behaviours and things there in Korea is different from the UK, different from here. So it's been me that's generally moved between the places. So learning to adapt and understand what is expected or what behaviours and sort of values and things are done in different places comes through. That's been good. That's been interesting. So, I was working out the other day, and it's I quite like change. So I think I've moved house like 26 times or something in the past about 30 years or so. So yeah, it's a lot of movement, a lot of change.
I did count that for me once, and it was also scary, especially thinking about our families, how they suffer when we move. Wow, 26 times.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, congratulations, because people say that that always generates a mini family crisis. So I don't think you have had 26 family crises.
Yeah.
So well done.
I probably should stop doing it now. Really. So
I've
probably caused enough trouble.
Yeah, it comes a time when we need to try to keep that a bit more, to a minimum. Well, thank you, Jim. I'm thinking, when I ask people about humanity, I think not everybody has been exposed to so many cultures and different people like as you are. So actually, I ask you if you have a idea of what humanity is.
Okay. Probably going to go quite literal in that one. So, I mean, humanity. You got different definitions of it. But I think for me, the prime one basically it is people. So you've got people here in Togo. You've got people in the Amazonian rainforest. They're the people. That's humanity. It's the essence of being a person. That's humanity. I think in some cases you could say humanity being society. And society is different, depends a lot on there's a lot of different aspects behind that. But humanity, a person is a person, that's humanity to me. That's where it comes from.
Human beings.
Yeah.
Human beings
is humanity.
Is humanity. And so you wouldn't distinguish from one culture to another?
No, that's humanity. So, British people, Spanish people, it's humanity. It's different aspects of humanity, but encompassing the whole thing is humanity.
And the people and the way we have given ourselves to live life in this kind of societies we are living, the way we are structured, right?
How do you mean?
The way we are working in societies. We are not working in isolation.
I think that's more society rather than humanity. I think so. It's the essence of humanity is human beings, people. So what they do, that's something else. That's the society they're in, the behaviours, the different aspects. To me, that's not humanity. That's something else. That's derived from humanity.
Some guests in my previous podcast associate the notion of being organized in societies as being what humanity is. They associate that to humanity, like humanity will not be humanity unless we are associated in groups.
You could say that, but you've also, there's always the different cases. You've got like the hermit who lives on a rock somewhere. Okay, that person is part of humanity. They're a human. That's humanity. They're not part of even society. One could be that thing, but you've got it's a different level. So to me, you've got you got your basic needs sort of thing. So if you say, okay, humans generally would need belonging or reference or different things. Some people do, or less, to more or to a larger or greater extent, these changes. But the aspect of this part, though, you've got those almost like the basic needs of what people need to have to if they don't have them, it's causing like psychological stress, the different parts. And then how those are then inferred, then that comes through society, the things they've learned into what they want to do and how they're going to live their life. But that's, just because someone does it a different way than perhaps you or I would do or somebody else, that doesn't mean they're outside humanity. It's humanity encompasses all aspects of that.
Understand. Makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Makes sense to you. Makes sense to me too, to be honest. I agree with you. We shouldn't disconnect from people who are disconnected. Sure. So then, talking about human values. So what distinguish some people from others? What is your take on what are human values? And if you can give me some short list of values that you believe are very much part of humanity.
Okay. I think values will depend. It depends a lot from person to person. I think the values is then derived from their upbringing in the society they're raised in there. So a particular society that, wrong word, that respects or values a particular attribute from personal, a certain expectation from that society could be completely different from another society. you've got two people growing up in those different societies. Their values will be different in terms of how they treat each other, what they expect from each other. So that part there, I'll always say, okay, that everything is humanity within this space. That doesn't necessarily mean that within that humanity everyone has the same values, right? Because everyone will have very different values, I believe, based on the position they've come to in their life, by the upbringing, the expectations of society, the different things. There's course than that there. So, I mean, for my upbringing, I value like fairness, effort, respect, things like that. That's what I believe is correct.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that, I mean, you've got a different upbringing, different place. You will have different ones. The other people will have different parts. So that's, you can't infer, I think, that my set of what I think of values are necessarily transferable or agreed to by other people. They have their own set, and that's perfectly valid.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean I may not like those particular values they have, but that's their values, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. So you said fairness, respect?
Yep. I don't think what I've said now. What did I say? This is why it's on the recording. So fairness, respect, I think kindness, honesty, just sort of caring for others. These got diligence and hard work as well. So that's generally what sort of I would like to see in things.
Mm-hmm. Because this is something that has been given to you, or you think this is something that you have decided or developed by yourself through your life?
You've got the two parts of it, I think. So you've had the things where you are sort of given those values actually through your early stages. I mean, a lot of the values are fixed within people say it's fixed in the first few years. And then you've got other ones after them, the learned parts. So yeah, kindness, fairness, respect, these parts come through. I think other bits in there where during my sort of professional career or things that people have treated me well or helped me develop in such a way, then if that's been associated with the things that they've done, or their sort of hard work or their honesty or feedback or different things, these are bits that I've thought, okay, that's good, that's a nice characteristic from that person, and therefore that's something I'll sort of try to emulate as well. So it's not purely fixed at the beginning stage. I mean, you've got the huge part that comes through from your friends as you're growing up. So a lot changes as it comes through. Like the values that I've got is different from that of my brother, okay? Because he's had a different path. So some things are the same, but it's not complete same set. So it's it's different in that way. So it's not necessarily the case that because you have an upbringing this way that defines everything afterwards. You change and you shape different parts that come through later.
Because this question, I don't think I have asked this question to anybody yet, but it just came up to me, something you get from because of where you come from, and your family or environment and so on. But then you can, everybody change. I think that applies to me too. We all change. Actually, when we get exposed to different people, cultures, it is easy to maybe add some more things into our pack. And would you be able to? Would you say that there are some good values versus not so good or bad?
I think that then it's a question because it comes from my viewpoint in some ways. From my perspective, there'd be some which I wouldn't agree with, which I don't think are good values. But by saying that from someone else who holds a different perspective, those may be seen as good attributes or good values to have. So it does depend where you come from in this one. So I mean, you could have something like I don't know. Would you say selfishness is or self-centeredness or something is a value? Someone who wants to strive very much and they're very type A person or something. They're very pushing themselves to always be number one. Maybe that part there, maybe part of their value would be okay. I put myself first. I always push this way. I don't want that for myself. I don't believe that's what I would do. So it depends in that way. Again, selfishness is the wrong word. It's not really a value, but I'm trying to think of the right word.
Yeah, a person who is very self-driving and
that can be okay, but it depends to what extent you are impacting the others. It's is it being self-driven is good to achieve what you want to do. It's necessary to a certain degree, but to what extent is that at the expense of others? If it's fair, if it's got open competition, yeah, fine. But cheating is not, to me, it's not cheating to get ahead is not an acceptable thing.
It's very clear that fairness is on your top of your own personal scale, which is very clear. It just comes through very clearly. Actually, fairness is a very good one for me also because this is one I learned more through the years. It's not something I can say came to me right away in my childhood and I understood it because it needs time to be developed because you have to do comparisons as well. And fairness came to me gradually throughout my career. Yes. And also as I change, not culture, but as I live with many different type of people, the idea of fairness became more and more stronger. I understood it more and more. I don't know if I will be able to say that I apply it rightly, but something that evolves, something that is not. It was added to my list later in life.
I'm trying to think of the times playing football together, and I'm trying to remember if you were a fair player or not.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Probably not. Probably not because I am too competitive.
This is the bit. Competition's fine, and that part there, it's being fair, being competitive about applying fairness for that is okay, because that way you're not, like I say, you're not cheating to get ahead in some ways. I remember you didn't cheat so much. Yeah, it was a while ago. So
the thing when you play football is that if you cheat, but there's a referee that should actually state whether something is right or wrong, right? It's part of a game.
Yes, yeah. But that, like I say, that's part of it. It's not omnipotent. It's not.
Yeah, let's be fair. Thank you, Jim, for reminding me my past behaviors. So yes, human beings can behave, can have a good values or wrong values. Actually, it sounds like it's not so much that it's a wrong values; it's how you use yourself.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So that's. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, you could say, are you being true to yourself? So that someone who, doesn't value fairness or something, then to do that would be nonsense. I think they wouldn't behave in that way. They wouldn't be being true to themselves. So that would be different.
But that requires that people have to. People need to understand or maybe remember what they want to keep, how they want to behave. I guess. I mean, do you think people really understand the 2, 3, 4 key behaviors that they must have, they value to exhibit?
Consciously, I don't think many people do.
No.
I mean, going through the different parts here, perhaps this is one of the first times to actually think about it in some ways. Subconsciously, yes. Okay, because you wake up in the morning and think, I'm gonna. This is what I need to do. This is what my plan is for today. And you think how you're going to do it. You don't think, okay, today I'm going to throw out all my normal behaviours and values. I'm going to do something else today. Okay, that part then wouldn't feel right. So it's the people make to do that, you would have to recognise in yourself, okay, how would my normal code of conduct or value shape what I do today versus something else. So I don't think many people do think about it. It's an interesting exercise. Actually. Like I say, you saw how I sort of struggled in some ways to think of those particular values I would put down.
Yeah, it's not easy. Everybody does. It's not because we don't do it. We're not trained to do it. We are not asked to do it. It's difficult. It's not a clear cut. When I asked you the second time, you came up with more values.
I noticed that.
That they all sound nice.
It's similar in some ways, though.
But different and longer list. And you were trying to think harder, and you came up with a great list and bigger and nice.
I was trying to remember the word I'd forgotten the first time.
I think it was effort. I think you mentioned
okay.
effort. Okay. Effort, yes. Which is very much you. Actually, you describe yourself very well, in my opinion, from what I know. But it's very interesting. That's why I'm also asking these questions to people. I don't think we spend time thinking about how do we apply ourselves? How do we apply our humanity, our human values in life? Because if we are more conscious, hopefully that generates positive impact that we can replicate. We can do over and over again.
I mean, this idea of looking at it, do you look at the end of the evening, right? You go to bed. Do you then think back what's done through today, and do you think, okay, my things I've done today, the behaviours, different aspects, have I been true to my values today? Have I done what I thought I should do during the day? Have you done that?
I don't formulate those questions straight away to me like this. No, I don't really go through a very thorough process of formulating these very specific questions back. Maybe I should. But I think in a way, one thing I learned through life is to be at peace with myself as quick as possible. Let's say that I know when I am not at peace because something happened, maybe my behavior. I think about this. I try to think about it, and I don't say correct or not correct it, but at least be conscious of why. And when I think about the why, it's always required to try to understand also the other situation, not just mine, but the other situation. It's not easy, but normally I do it because one of the and this is now my I've been interviewed by Jem in this case, but just to finish this, one of the, I think it was my podcast 3, when I was interviewing my friend Jesus. He asked a question. The question he asked the next guest was, what do you do to be able to sleep well at night? How can you sleep well at night? This is more or less similar to your question. You have to be in peace with yourself. I try to be in peace with myself before going to sleep. That's for sure. Every day is critical. It's critical not just to sleep well, which it is, but it's also overall healthy, and reflecting from situations is the only way to progress forward, in my opinion. It's the only way to make positive progress. No reflection, no progress. Or going backwards, in my opinion. So I guess you don't also, it's something that we don't do normally.
If there's been, I think it's almost like the converse of it. So if there's something happened today that I'm not happy with or not comfortable with, doesn't align with what I think of myself, that niggles at me, that will annoy me. And then they think, okay, what can I do to change that, get back on track or something. So that does go through my head.
It does.
But I don't I've probably not thought of it in clear terms like this. Okay, does that align with the different parts? But actually, I can feel if something isn't right, and that doesn't feel comfortable. It creates that level of stress or things inside. So that's probably where I would be most conscious of it, I think.
My feeling is that we are all conscious, because I think it's just a chemical reaction, and that we get this reaction. And I think the conscious is there, and it's whether we can associate that to, we can interrogate ourselves and say, okay, this is the behavior that I should not tolerate of myself again, because it goes against my beliefs or my values. Yeah, I don't think people really do that. But in order to do that, we just need to have some self-clarity on our list of things we truly value. Yeah. I am asking these questions in the podcast for this reason, because I don't believe it's something people ask themselves or have clarity of, and I believe it's probably beneficial that we have some clarity on our list of values. I ask very casually, give me your list of values, and people do give me some list. It's a very casual question, but I think it is very serious. It's deep. Knowing that list, my belief, if we know that list and we have that list always present in our head, I think it will help us to live a life in more aligned with who we are, and create some positive impact.
I'm wondering something on this. I just came to my head now. Probably the time where you would think about it potentially is if you've had a religious upbringing. So if you been at church or something, maybe that's the time you would think about it. But maybe I don't go to church at the moment, okay? But I have done in the past. And then maybe, is that one of the differences then, potentially? That sort of self-questioning part is something that people who don't go to church don't do anymore? What do you think?
It could be the case, because I know a lot of people who are religious, and I have been also experiencing this in my home country in Spain. Yes, of course, the church provokes, or at least induce people to try to think more about what have they done wrong. I mean,
It's not in a positive way, is it?
But that's the way, I think that's the way it's done, or at least in the religion that I have met, that I've been exposed to in the past. Your sins, I mean, something you are not happy with. Okay, it's a bit of a forcing self-reflection on some behavior you're not very proud of. And that's probably the closest situation to the thinking we are promoting now. But it's not exactly what we were saying. But yes, this is a religion, I think, push people to ask, to do this self-reflection, maybe more.
Yeah, I'd not thought about it for a long time, but then having this conversation now just leads down certain, perhaps previous experiences. Do you think, when was the last time this kind of conversation was taking place?
And the answer is
a long time ago.
Exactly. A long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. In companies, in organizations, people ask, reflecting about your performance, reflecting about your behavior. Okay, people do this because it is a mandate by the corporation, your contract of employment, whatever. It's normally good to understand how to move forward positively for the set goal, in this case, okay, for the corporation's goal, for the individual contribution to a corporation. Fine. We don't do this for our personal life.
No.
We don't do this for our personal life. So so perhaps we need to think about this and get it done a bit more without having to be religious. It's just
I'm not advocating that. It's I've not thought about it for a long time, to be honest. But yeah, it's just, like I say, yeah, lots of conversations perhaps that go, say that you mentioned work and things, that almost like skim the surface of things. When you can have a reasonable, easy conversation and then it finishes, that's it. But it's that, like you say, that looking at a bit of self-reflection, actually going into it deeper, actually makes you think more. So,
Yeah. And I guess it's about what we consider is important, most important thing to do with our time. And okay, maybe people don't think this is important thing to do with our time, and then it's not done. But anyway, I think it's very important. Anyway, I'm advocating that this is important exercise to be done with our time.
okay, I'll agree with you.
Yes. Because I was going to ask you, I have no idea if this is normally a very tough question for everybody in the podcast, and they tell me so that this is a very very hard question. But anyhow, I'll give it a go. So then I ask people, can you tell me, can you think about a time when you have caught yourself being human, applying humanity, and it has had a positive impact?
It's a tricky question. It's not like, of course. Like,
Yeah, I'll give you 10.
Here's some I prepared earlier. Where to go to with this? I would say from work. I was working over in China. I'd gone to work in a shipyard where that was about 10 or so people were in there, different surveyors doing different things, and so I was in there as the team lead, and some of the people in there, quite ambitious, very capable people, smart, but perhaps didn't quite know how to progress their careers or different things. I think then just asking them the questions and looking at things and trusting different areas. So if like question came up, it's okay. They found a problem, they'd come back and say, okay, well, this is an issue. What do we do here? Just say, okay, well, let's go and have a look. And as we're heading towards the place where that issue is, they would, tell me what's going on for this thing. Tell me what's happened. So they would explain what's going on. And it's the conversation that you're getting there. Well, what do you think we should do? What do you reckon about this? And quite often, before we would actually get to the place where the thing was, they would already know what the solution is. They would decide that. They just need the opportunity to talk it through and shape themselves. And that gave people quite a lot of confidence. So lots of the people that worked with, and then their careers gone quite well, different places, developed quite well in a lot of places. I think it's just that listening to what people need in terms of their sort of cycle, and then finding out how to help them do what they need to do to progress. So that was, I'd say if I go back to those values, that's sort of like kindness, working, being interested in people and seeing what they need to do. Just trying to help people in that way. It's not a question of you versus me. It's okay, you're the right person for this, you're doing the right thing. So what do you need to do to unlock it and get better? So I think that's probably one of them.
Thank you.
Do you want more? Yeah.
I think you are on the next one.
I'm actually thinking of it's going to go back a long time, but it's not work. This one was it was sport basically. We'd gone. I was playing for a rugby team. It's a local rugby team, and we'd gone. I think we'd driven about an hour and a half on a Saturday morning to go and play this game. And that time, if you couldn't make substitutions unless the person was injured. So I'd gone there, And then one of my friends had gone as well, and it was approaching towards the end of the game, and he really wanted to play, and he'd not got on yet. And we'd driven an hour and a half to get there. This freezing cold field somewhere in the north of England. I'm thinking, oh no, this is not good. And he's just looking at me. I'm thinking, right, okay. So I then faked an injury as part, so I could be substituted off and he could come on in my place. So it's like, running around the field and suddenly hobbling and like, my ankle, and then sort of getting off the pitch so he could come on. So that's something I was pleased about, because he was very happy to actually get on board and play. Otherwise, that would have been an entire Saturday wasted for this poor guy. So that was a good thing to do. I'm quite pleased with that one.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, sounds great.
But I had to pretend I was injured then for the rest of the afternoon. People go to the bar afterwards to get changed. I had to hobble all the way through, so I had to maintain my injury.
Wow.
I'm not sure I maintained the injury on the same foot. It might have,
but nobody noticed.
They've been in the bar, so it was okay.
Yeah, exactly. They were getting drunk.
Yeah, no one mentioned.
No one mentioned.
Your other foot.
And good. Good one. And actually, the person who needed to enter the pitch was the right one. I mean, you could have been substituted by somebody else.
Oh, that would have been a disaster, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So these little. You say little things. It's not a little thing. That's not what everybody would do. It's not a little thing.
No, that's
So thank you. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think
we still lost, but it's okay.
Well, you see, that's secondary. Maybe it's a bit secondary.
Maybe that's why I substituted myself.
Maybe that's why.
I didn't want to be on the losing team.
Well, you were anyway.
You were that's true. That's true. That's fair enough.
Yeah, well, thank you, Jim. So you broke a record. So you give me 2 examples. That you're the first person that gave me 2 examples. So well done. Well done. Let's talk about, just to finish, coming towards the end. I always ask people about then this new type of intelligence that is known as this famous artificial intelligence. And so just your take on, and I keep telling everybody, and everybody agrees, okay, this is something that is part of our life, it's here to stay. Okay, fine, it's just, it's not that we are going to suddenly ditch it. What is your take on the artificial intelligence and humanity? How does it play? What worries you the most, or what are you excited most about?
Okay. I think there's the different questions about whether to what level it will come to, in some ways. The excitement in some ways, it is able to do things quickly. It can pull information in different places, it can process stuff, it doesn't forget, so it can be a good assistant to what we are looking to do. It's a tool that can help us. It's like a spanner in some ways. It can assist and augment the capabilities of the human in some ways. Maybe I'm different from this, but I don't believe it's going to be completely creative in that way. Within a subset of things, I think yes, okay, it can do that. I'm not sure I'm not sure it's going to be what I would consider as creative from nothing. I think can get very similar to, it can demonstrate traits or things which are similar to maybe the creative process. But I think it's not going to do that leap yet. I think that's the domain of human beings with imagination. That's the bit. I think imagination perhaps isn't quite there. Approximation of imagination, yes, but maybe not imagination itself. So the sort of concerns around that is if people become lazy and rely on it too much, then that imagination doesn't come easy. I mean, you've worked in innovation, different parts there. That's not an easy process. You have to put in the effort or learn the different things to actually unlock those capabilities to actually think in a different way. And if sometimes if things are too easy using these tools, do you get the process where you can actually have that spark of creativity to do something and think of things in a different way? That, I think, is probably the concern. But like, it's a tool. You can't uninvent the spanner. You can't uninvent something which is there. So it's how do you use it for the most positive benefit? You don't look like you agree.
I have no idea if creativity can be supplemented by technology. I am not sure. I will have to think about it. I will have to think deeply about it. Also, creativity, in my view, can happen as a talent, as a given. Some people have it more as a natural talent than others. But it's one of those that I feel, it feels so human that it's difficult for me to, I think I agree more or less with, it's difficult for me to see how technology that is made by humans at the end of the day could replicate. You made me think, because now I'm creating my book of Tokyo, so I'm creating this. But of course, I don't need to create it. I just can go to this program, this software, and I can just dump my pictures there, or my text here and there, and I can click, and this AI will create everything for me. Okay, in my view, the word create is too high to tell. I don't think
it can sort. It can
exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's not a creation. Fine, you can call it creation, but no, it's not. It's not my sense of what creation is. It's not. It will have the gap that I can add with my senses. So I think we're saying more of the same thing.
Yeah, you mentioned, I mean, okay, some people have got the talent. Okay, I think lots of people are born with talent for things, but you could have the fastest runner, fastest 100-meter runner. There could be lots of people could be faster than Usain Bolt, right? But you have the talent to do it, but do you need to be trained, or you need to be coached, or you need to have it developed there? If you don't develop it, okay, nobody ever.
There will be no results.
Yeah,
There will be no results. Yeah.
And it's that. To me, that's the thing you have to be careful of. The opportunity for support of things replaces the process of developing that talent.
I see. That's interesting. Yeah. Interesting. That's one more question that comes from my podcast to be answered later. Every podcast for this AI section, there's one or two questions that come up in the conversation that actually we don't have the answer to. There's a lot of questions about how this will develop, and this is another one. Interesting. The other question was if you can teach human values to AI. Do you have a take on that?
Like I said before, I think every human has different set of values. So which values? The values that you would teach to AI maybe is different from the ones I would teach. It's different from somebody somewhere else in the world, because we have our own set of values. So because there's such a difference across it, you can't teach. It's all subjective. I'll teach you my values. Okay, you teach it yours. It's shaped. It would have a personality, because it's the person who's had the primary input into developing it, or the team, or different things can do it. So it wouldn't be human values. It'd be a humans, or human woman as value. That's what it would be. I think we have to teach it in some ways, because the alternative to that is to say, complain afterwards and say, well, this doesn't, of course it makes the wrong choice. How useless is this? It's because you didn't teach it what to do. So we have to teach it as much as we can, but say there's not one set of human values this way.
Yes. But the question of whether should we teach human values to AI, and your answer is yes.
Yeah.
Some people said no. Some other people in the podcast said no, we shouldn't. Some people said yes.
That's too late to say no.
Too late to say no.
You can't uninvent it. So it's
How to get on with it.
Yeah, there's so many people, different avenues of doing it.
So then now, actually, this is the right time to ask you, because suddenly I remember the question that the previous,
okay.
the previous,
Very good.
because the question was, which values would you teach AI? Meaning, if you choose, you have to teach some but not others.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which ones you believe AI should have?
I'd say consideration.
Oh.
So, understanding the impact of decisions.
Oh.
And tricky one. I would like to see kindness in there as well.
Uh-huh.
So I think you can have consideration, but if you don't know, if that's not supported by the kindness and representing the impact that has, then that's not going to be great. Can consider it. Oh, this will happen. Yeah, whatever. Okay, never mind.
But then please be kind. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for considering, and now please.
Yeah. So those two parts, I think. Again, it's probably coming down to me thinking, who would I? If you've got this wonderful tool, very highly capable, can do lots of different things to support us, I would like that to be something which can support people in a positive way, rather than a destructive or purely objective way. I'd like to see it doing things in a positive support.
But when this person asked this question, we had a moment of a little bit of a, wait a minute. I mean, who could answer this question? This is very difficult. But you just did.
You didn't give me any choice.
But you did. Thank you.
But again, that's my set.
You just said, yeah.
So that if you get the same question to whoever comes next, it would be a completely different set, I'm sure.
For sure, it will be different, especially this subject that is so new for everybody. Everybody has a different take. But anyway, thank you. It's actually, I'm very impressed with your thinking. Very quick, very good, very clear, very quick, and delivered. Wow, congratulations! The previous guest is going to be very happy with your effort to answer his question.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you so much.
That's good.
Thank you so much. So now it's your turn to formulate the question that I will ask. The next.
Is it related to AI?
Whichever you want. I mean, it's related to the subject of the podcast, but it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be AI related.
Okay. Right. You have to give me a moment. I would say, so for the next person, what have they learned about themselves having gone through this discussion or conversation with yourself? So what have they learned during the process?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is a great question. I may need to ask everybody from now on.
I'm sort of thinking, what things would I want to ask myself now? So it's like, okay, all right. That's the bit that's sticking in my head.
I learned a lot from every conversation. We know we know each other for 25 years, but I learned a few things today about you that I didn't know before. So only for that, I think it's great to have you. Thank you, Jim, very much for being part of this. And as I tell many people, 20 or 30 episodes later, I may need to call you back again for some other subject.
I think there's a nice place here in Tokyo that we can do it next time.
Please, yes.
Rather than next to Shinjuku Station.
I will actually, next time I will, this is only improved. So now, in 2 podcasts ago, with Masato-san, you will see this podcast soon. He kept asking, fixating into the idea of the only or the best way to make progress forward is to fail. He was fixating in this. It was the subject of the whole podcast because it's his personal experience and it's proven to him. And he actually gave the failure. He gave it a positive spin. Failure as a great positive. But of course, it was because he was always able to extract the learning, and therefore you change something in your life, or you do something, and suddenly you just make this little progress that you wouldn't have made, or maybe you would have made later or never, unless you have this failure. So this place is what it is, and next place will be better. Better, yes.
Yeah, I think we've known each other long enough. You know when I'm teasing. So.
It's okay. It's okay. I always welcome. So thank you, Jim. Thank you for being who you are. That was just the most important thing. Keep being who you are all the time. And anyway, so for all the guests, thank you for being there once more. Please subscribe to the channel, and we'll come back soon with more guests from, again, a different nationality, a different country. So until then, bye everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.